If you're in the market for a new car in 2025, you might be walking straight into a trap. Gone are the days when buying a vehicle meant a decade of reliable driving with only the occasional oil change or brake pad swap. Today's cars are more complex than ever, crammed with sensors, screens, batteries, and software systems that, while impressive on paper, are proving increasingly fragile in the real world. According to the latest 2025 auto reliability data from Consumer Reports, the landscape has shifted dramatically, and not in the consumer's favor. Certain brands, once considered pioneers or stalwarts of dependability, are now facing a flood of complaints, early failures, and astronomical repair costs. And it's not just about cost. It's about safety, predictability, and trust. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel to get the latest news. Let's start with the most disruptive brand in the auto industry, Tesla. While Tesla continues to dominate EV sales in the US, recent owner surveys paint a troubling picture. The 2025 Model Y, the company's best-selling vehicle, is now facing serious reliability issues tied to its heat pump system, a crucial component for cabin temperature control and battery efficiency in colder climates. Numerous owners report total HVAC failure during winter months, leading to fogged windows, battery inefficiency, and in some cases, complete loss of cabin heat. Consumer Reports estimates that nearly 18% of 2025 Model Y owners have encountered climate control system failures within the first year of ownership, a number far above the industry average. And due to Tesla's closed repair ecosystem, even basic fixes often involve long wait times and full component replacements rather than targeted repairs, further frustrating customers. Tesla's software issues are also compounding the problem. Over-the-air updates are a signature feature, but they're not always beneficial. In 2025, multiple Model 3 and Model S owners have reported system downgrades that cause glitches in autopilot performance, touchscreen responsiveness, and backup camera reliability, all without their consent. One update in Q1 even temporarily disabled regenerative braking in certain VIN batches, catching many drivers off guard. And because Tesla doesn't operate through traditional dealerships, some customers have reported waiting weeks just to get a service appointment, with loaners unavailable and mobile techs backlogged. But Tesla isn't the only automaker under fire. Take Jaguar, for instance, a luxury brand that's been aggressively transitioning to electric power. The 2025 Jaguar I-Pace, their flagship EV, continues to be plagued by battery management system failures and inconsistent charging behavior. While the vehicle's styling and performance are widely praised, more than 25% of surveyed owners report slow or failed charging sessions at public fast chargers, including total inability to DC fast charge at high speeds, a huge issue for road-tripping EV drivers. Worse, some I-Pace units have suffered full drivetrain loss caused by overheating inverter modules. These repairs aren't just rare, they're shockingly expensive. Out-of-warranty costs for an inverter replacement have been quoted above $12,000, and Jaguar's dealer network in North America is shrinking, making it even harder for affected owners to find qualified service centers. Meanwhile, legacy brands aren't faring much better. Ford, a mainstay of the American market, has stumbled hard with its 2025 Explorer Hybrid and F-150 Lightning. The Explorer's hybrid drivetrain has been repeatedly flagged for high failure rates in the regenerative braking system, causing unpredictable deceleration, especially at low speeds. This is more than an inconvenience. It's a safety hazard. Reports filed with NHTSA cite multiple cases of near collisions due to inconsistent braking behavior in congested traffic. Ford's F-150 Lightning, once the poster child of the electric truck movement, is now under scrutiny for high-voltage battery coolant leaks and onboard charging module failures. Consumer Reports notes that Lightning owners are more likely than any other full-size truck owners to report being stranded in the first 12 months, mostly due to charging or electronics faults. Despite its impressive performance specs and towing ability, many now consider the Lightning a risky buy unless it's strictly a local-use vehicle. Jeep, on the other hand, continues to suffer from its attempt to straddle the line between rugged tradition and modern electrification. The 2025 Grand Cherokee 4xe is experiencing a sharp uptick in electrical faults, including ghost warning lights, screen freezes, and hybrid drive system failures. More troubling, though, are issues with its electric driving range, which in many cases falls well below advertised numbers. Owners routinely report only achieving 12-15 miles of electric-only range, despite Jeep promising 25. Add to that multiple cases of vehicles entering limp mode while driving, and it's no surprise that owner satisfaction for the 4xe is sinking fast. Reliability isn't just about whether a car starts in the morning, it's about whether it behaves as advertised, and Jeep is struggling on both counts. Even Honda, a brand once practically synonymous with long-term durability, is feeling the pressure. The new 2025 Honda Accord Hybrid features cutting-edge interior tech, including a Google-powered infotainment system and integrated digital cluster. But many owners are complaining of system lag, freezing screens, and even total blackouts while driving, an issue that can affect both navigation and rear-view camera functionality. The hybrid powertrain itself has also shown early signs of degradation, with some owners reporting a noticeable dip in fuel efficiency within just 10,000 miles. While Honda still ranks relatively high in overall brand reliability, this erosion of its reputation in a key model like the Accord is a warning sign of how even the best players can stumble in the race to modernize. What connects all of these brands, from EV pioneers to old-school favorites, is the increasing complexity of their vehicles and the growing disconnect between what's promised in glossy brochures and what owners are actually experiencing day to day. In the next section, we'll look at how manufacturers are quietly rewriting the rules around warranty coverage, software patches, and repairability, all while leaving the average buyer holding the bag. Modern car ownership doesn't end at the purchase. In many ways, it's where the problems begin. A growing concern among owners in 2025 is that the safety net of the manufacturer warranty doesn't actually provide the protection people expect. As vehicles become more technologically advanced, the definitions of what's covered and what's excluded have quietly evolved, leaving many drivers blindsided when major repairs arise. And this is especially true for the brands we discussed earlier: Tesla, Jaguar, Ford, Jeep, and even Honda, each of which now carries its own unique version of the modern warranty trap. Let's take Tesla as an example. On paper, Tesla offers a fairly generous 8-year warranty on the battery and drivetrain, but the fine print tells a different story. Multiple owners of the 2025 Model 3 and Model Y have been denied coverage for early battery degradation, particularly when Tesla's internal diagnostics failed to register the issue as severe enough. Even more frustrating is the lack of transparency. Tesla doesn't provide battery health reports to customers the way legacy manufacturers do, meaning owners can't see their degradation in hard numbers unless Tesla decides to disclose it. Meanwhile, repairs to touchscreen systems, cameras, and software glitches fall under a much shorter basic warranty, and after that expires, even a minor computer failure can cost thousands out of pocket. One 2025 Model S owner reported paying nearly $3,400 just to replace a failing media control unit that stopped syncing climate controls. Jaguar is no stranger to warranty complications either. Their 5-year, 60,000-mile coverage looks respectable, until you realize that many electric components in the I-Pace are not included under the powertrain coverage. In fact, owners report that infotainment system issues and electrical gremlins are often categorized as wear and tear, and thus denied. Dealerships are also more likely to reset software faults rather than replace faulty modules outright, meaning the same issue often resurfaces months later. And with fewer Jaguar service centers operating in 2025, some customers in rural or suburban regions have to drive several hours just to get a diagnostic check, only to be told they're on a weeks-long wait list. Ford and Jeep, despite being American staples with broad dealer networks, are just as guilty of playing games with coverage. Owners of the 2025 Ford Explorer Hybrid are learning the hard way that many hybrid components fall under a separate emissions warranty with more limited terms. Even in cases of drivetrain failure, service centers are increasingly reluctant to greenlight replacements without jumping through corporate hoops, delaying repairs for weeks. The same applies to the F-150 Lightning. Issues with onboard charging modules or battery leaks often spark finger-pointing between dealerships and Ford corporate, especially if the issue straddles the line between defective part and external damage. Jeep's customer experience has also taken a hit. With the 4xe lineup, many service departments are not yet fully trained on diagnosing hybrid electric problems, which means customers sometimes return multiple times before a solution is found, if it's found at all. Adding insult to injury, the cost of rental coverage during these prolonged repair periods often isn't reimbursed, even when the delay is entirely on Jeep's end. Customers are left paying hundreds in rental car fees, or worse, going without transportation altogether for days or weeks. Even Honda, which historically earned top marks for post-sale support, is seeing cracks in its armor. The company's transition to more advanced infotainment systems and software-connected vehicles has outpaced its dealer network's ability to handle bugs. Owners of the 2025 Honda Accord Hybrid report frequent miscommunication between dealers and Honda corporate regarding known issues. One common story? A system-wide display blackout that occurs after certain updates. Service advisors will claim they've never heard of it, despite dozens of similar reports being posted in online forums. When the repair is approved, many owners are surprised to find that parts like digital clusters or infotainment brains are on backorder, often for up to 6 weeks, even in major metro areas. And here's where the real financial pain begins. Once a car crosses that invisible line just past the basic warranty, owners are suddenly on the hook for incredibly expensive repairs. These aren't your grandfather's timing belt replacements. We're talking about thermal management modules, autonomous driving sensors, digital actuator replacements, and entire vehicle control units. Some of these parts cost more than engines used to, and unlike traditional mechanical repairs, they're not serviceable in stages. You can't just fix a chip. You replace the whole $5,000 board, and more often than not, only at an OEM-certified facility. So what happens when your warranty runs out? For more and more drivers in 2025, the answer is financial devastation. What used to be rare, high-mileage failures are now showing up much earlier, often between 40,000 and 70,000 miles, just beyond the manufacturer's standard warranty window. According to Consumer Reports' latest reliability survey, some of the worst offenders this year aren't exotic or obscure. They're everyday vehicles sold in massive volumes, and the cost to repair these modern systems is staggering. Take the 2025 Ford Explorer Hybrid, a family SUV that's become a common sight in driveways across the country. Owners who pass the 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty are reporting sudden failures of the battery cooling system, which is critical to keeping the hybrid battery pack from overheating. The part itself costs just under $2,000, but labor is another $1,300, and that's if you're lucky enough to have a dealership technician trained in hybrid systems. Several customers told Consumer Reports they were quoted $3,500, $4,200 for the job for a vehicle just 3 years old. Now consider Tesla, where the technology is more advanced, but the repair environment is even more restrictive. On the 2025 Model Y, issues with the heat pump system, designed to regulate cabin temperature and battery conditioning, have become increasingly common. When this system fails, drivers can experience total loss of climate control, battery range reduction, and even safety warnings. Unfortunately, Tesla doesn't offer third-party repair support, and independent shops can't legally or safely work on high-voltage systems. That leaves owners with only one option: Tesla's own service centers. In many states, Model Y heat pump repairs cost between $2,800 and $5,000, and parts backlogs can delay service by months. If your warranty expired a few thousand miles ago, you're on your own. Luxury brands aren't spared either. On the 2025 Jaguar F-Pace P400, a common failure point is the electronic differential actuator. part of the AWD system that helps manage torque distribution. When it goes, drivers report grinding noises and loss of traction on slippery surfaces. The fix? An entire rear differential module replacement, which can cost over $6,000 after labor and calibration. And with Jaguar's shrinking dealer footprint, some owners are having to ship their vehicles across state lines just to get service. Then there's Jeep, specifically the 2025 Wrangler 4xe. While Jeep marketed the plug-in hybrid powertrain as rugged and future-ready, it has proven vulnerable in real-world conditions. The onboard charger, a component critical to converting AC wall power into usable battery charge, it is a frequent failure point. When it goes, not only can the vehicle no longer be charged at home, but it often throws cascading system errors that cripple other vehicle functions. Jeep dealers have been quoting $3,800, $47 for full replacement, and in many regions, wait times for parts exceed 45 days. One owner in Arizona reported having their Wrangler towed to the dealer twice within 3 months for the same recurring error, only to be told the issue was not covered under powertrain warranty. Even Honda, which has long prided itself on low long-term costs, is seeing an uptick in major post-warranty expenses. The 2025 Honda CR-V Hybrid, a top-selling compact SUV, has been plagued by issues with its power inverter module, the electronic bridge between battery and motor. When it fails, the car often stalls or refuses to start. Out of warranty, that single part plus labor can run $3,200, $4,000, depending on region and availability. For a car originally marketed as an affordable, long-lasting commuter, that's a hard pill to swallow. And none of this includes the cost of loaner vehicles, towing, diagnostics, or the time lost without a functional car, which, for working-class Americans, can be just as damaging. Many families are being forced to take out personal loans, put thousands on credit cards, or worse, trade in their broken cars for new ones, rolling negative equity into another auto loan and deepening the cycle of debt. What these failures reveal is a brutal truth. Today's cars, with all their innovation and advanced systems, are rapidly becoming less maintainable and more disposable. And when a vehicle is no longer economically viable to repair just a few years in, that's not progress. That's planned obsolescence hiding behind a touchscreen. Car buyers today are facing a harsh new reality. Advanced technology doesn't always mean long-term value. With repair costs rising and reliability declining, even trusted brands are leaving drivers stranded, both mechanically and financially. If you're planning to keep your car beyond the warranty, you need to be more cautious than ever before. The industry is shifting fast, and not always in your favor. Subscribe to the channel to stay ahead of the curve and protect your wallet.